Well, if I asked every single one of these questions, we'd be here all night. So I think it's time to move on to our closing statements. And each candidate will have 2 minutes for a closing statement. And for these closing statements, we're going to reverse the order that they started. This was done by drawing a random drawing before. So we will reverse the opening statement order. And first is Karen Anderson. We'll give her 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Thank you, Jim. The fact that Mr. Alifano continues to state that this recall was started in fact by the union just is laughable, especially when you consider the fact that it is the San Mateo Firefighters Union that is bankrolling their campaign. As I said before, go to the elections office. I can show you copies of their 497s, $26,000 in money from every single union just about in the Bay Area. Over the Hill people, this isn't about local control. This is about 2,400 control, okay? They're the ones with the money. They want to move back in here and take away CAL FIRE. CAL FIRE has been providing us with excellent service. We have saved, I believe the figure is $9 million over the last 5 years that they have carried for us. Okay, $9 million. They took $2 million of this and budgeted it for their transition costs. They've already spent $500,000 on their consultants who basically were sweating bullets when they were talking about how we're going to have this new fire department come July 1st. Well, I didn't see a magic wand in any of their hands, and that's the only way they're going to do that. This campaign has gotten so dirty and nasty and personal. All I can say is my vote is not for sale. It has never been for sale. It never will be for sale. 2881 doesn't own me or any of the other candidates, but 2400 owns them, lock, stock, and barrel.
Thank you. Mr. McIntosh, you have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Laugh, Tony. It's real funny. Yeah, it's getting funnier by the minute.
Mr. McIntosh, you have 2 minutes for a closing statement. Doug McIntosh.
It's interesting because I've run for office for a large number of times here, and I have yet to see a dime in my campaign from anybody. The second part is it wasn't 2,400, it happened to be Teamsters that was representing the firefighters here when we were in a tough period. 2,400 came in at the very last minute. And we have no control over who the union that represents our firefighters are. That's their choice. They get to vote on that. They voted for a while to have 2,400. They voted for a while to have other things, to have the Teamsters. So whatever happens, happens. But I've made it very clear in all my conversations that I work first for the community, last and always. I'm looking forward to having this over with. I'm looking forward to getting back to the job of improving our water rescue program, improving our cliff rescue program, and improving our medical care by having people that are here and can be trained and retrained that brings each time you go through that cycle, the level of capability goes up significantly. When it's new people, it's just bringing them up to the basic levels. I'm looking forward to replacing the station at El Granada in Montero that are both in need, and we were in the middle of doing that before this stuff came down. So I'm looking forward to the challenges that stay ahead, and I'm looking forward to doing it in a cost-effective manner and staying within the budget.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. Mike Alifano, you have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Absolutely. We appreciate your time tonight. You know, it's a real bummer we're here. This is just such a waste of the community's time to deal with this. You know, I'm sorry if people get upset when I make the comment that CAL FIRE started and funded this recall. Us 3 board members were sued by Marshall Ketchum because they said that statement was inaccurate. We went to court and we won. And we won so much that We're now going after him for our attorney fees, okay? And that's gonna come out here real quick. So that's an issue for me. But when you look at the money that was coming in here, John Lynch, 1114, 2,300 bucks. He's not the professional signature gatherer. Hartwig is. That's who I refer to, 1,050 bucks. This is all on the FPPC's website. Keep Coastside Cal Fire. Recall Alphon and McIntosh Riddell, 1,000 bucks. Oh, there's another 1,000 bucks right here. This is all on the FPPC website showing another 2,300 bucks here. This is a lot of money that Cal Fire's union is putting into this recall to control this community. It's ridiculous. But when you look at who else they influence, here's $3,000, another $3,000. It's there. You look at their 460s, it clearly shows you who's behind this recall, okay? And, you know, for me, this was not an easy decision. When I got on this board and I sat here and I listened to everything, the one issue I was always hearing about was money that was taken by my other two board members here. They didn't take a dime, not a dime. But Gina McShane and Gary Burke and J.B. Cockwood, who's not here tonight, took money from Cal Fire's union on their 2009 election. And that to me, you know, it was very disheartening to hear the accusations going across the room when they were doing that, and they actually didn't do that. So I found that out. My other issue too is we're doing our job, and you recall people because they shoot the neighbor's dog. They burn the beach house down, okay? You don't recall people for making a tough decision.
Tell that to Grover.
Okay, so, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alfano. Lee McCusick, you have 2 minutes for closing statement.
Okay, thank you so much. And I hope all of you do vote and you take seriously what's being said here. But let me simplify it from my point of view. It's that this is on the face of it, a recall election is an unusual event. And this one is being called because these directors are making a major change in the policy of the fire board without any intervening elections for the voters to express their approval of their policy. And I call this Stop the Ridiculous Policy Extremes. That's all we're trying to do. Too bad it's called a recall, but they have absolutely ignored every person that has appeared at the podium and told them this was a bad idea. Every person, they ignore podium speakers. The fire board is not supposed to reinvent the fire service after every 5 years. The reasons for doing it are apparent in the union politics over the hill. And there's the payoff is $70 a month in union dues for each guy they can get hired here. And $70 a month times 21 firefighters, 30 firefighters is $2,100 a month. They'll pay for their signs in about a year. It's an investment on their part. We're the small player. And the ground truth that I'm hearing is keep Cal Fire. What an outstanding bunch of people. And they work so hard for us.
Thank you, Mr. McCusick. And our final candidate for a closing statement is Gary Riddell.
Yeah, I'm continually surprised on the comments made regarding CAL FIRE. You know, I was really disappointed when I got on the board and found out what actually was going on. They're the largest fire agency in the state of California. I shouldn't have to hold their hand and make them do their job. If they don't know it by now, maybe they should be getting into a different line of work. They had every opportunity to meet the terms, the service needs of this community, and we paid them the money. But they continually, for reasons that are beyond me, were either unable or unwilling to meet those service needs. We even spent 7 months in rewriting Exhibit E in the contract, which specifies the service levels they're going to provide. We had their input because our starting point was, this is what we've always had, and they said we can't do that. Then at that point we said, okay, give us what you can do. And then they didn't do it. So where does that leave me as a board member? What am I supposed to do? Just keep signing a contract with them? Look the other way? What do you want me to do? I was put on this board to oversee this community, and make sure that those services are being provided. And when they're not, and they don't, I have to look at what other options are available to me, and that's what I'm doing. Because they can't meet our needs. They've proven it. They've proven it in their failure to meet the service contract terms. So, and not only that, they violated state law. They were required to do inspections under the California Fire Code, NFP, and Title 19, and they didn't do it. So they not only ignored our contract, they were ignoring state law.
Thank you, Mr. Riddell. I would just like to say that you can find additional information about all the candidates on our League Smart Voter website. It's smartvoter.org. And all the candidates have been invited to enter their information. And if they have their own website, they can also link to it from Smart Voter. So I just remind you to, I don't think you will forget to vote on Tuesday, April 9th, if you're here tonight, and encourage your neighbors and friends to vote as well. So right now it's time for us to thank our candidates and to show our appreciation for them. Council for making the arrangements for this event, and actually for this is always an interesting place to come over here. Also, you know, check out the League of Women Voters, and if you want to help do things like this. So, thank you for coming.
Great job.